All right, my friends, welcome to week 3. We're getting close to that midpoint in the term already, which is crazy. I know. You're getting to the point where you're almost at the official halfway point in your first term. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Keep up the good work. All right. Now, we're going to get into Outlook today. We're going to be talking about Microsoft Outlook. This is the first program in Microsoft Office, that Microsoft Office suite. It's going to be Outlook and then Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So we're going to talk a lot about not just how Outlook works and some of its features, some of its bells and whistles, but I think maybe even more importantly than that is how to do it properly. So we're going to talk about email etiquette. What makes for a good professional email message? What makes for a bad one? How do we want to avoid those kinds of things? When is it appropriate to use this kind of style versus that kind of style? What are the differences, for instance, between emailing and texting? All of those things are things we're going to be talking about in the discussion board this week. On top of that, you're going to have another reflection. And I've seen, I've really liked the reflections that you did on OneDrive and on electronic file organization. So this is going to be on Outlook more specifically. And so there's going to be a reflection. There's also going to be an assignment called a check-in. The check-in is basically pass or fail. If you do the check-in, you get all the credit. If you don't do it, you get a 0, and it makes a huge difference on your overall grade. So make sure you do the check-in. The check-in is just your opportunity to tell me how things are going for you. Be honest and say, you know what, I've really enjoyed this, I really like it, or I've really been struggling because of A, B, and C. And then tell me how I can help you if I can at all. If there's anything else you need from me, let me know. I read every single one of those. I take them very seriously. So make sure that you're very honest with me in the check-in assignment. Again, really easy to get 100% on that one. So do it. Okay. The other thing I want to mention is something about the discussion boards and the reflections. I think, like I said, by and large, the reflections have been good. Each one, though, the discussion boards and the reflections have rubrics attached to them. And I have those rubrics attached in this announcement. So make sure you're looking at those rubrics. So for instance, with the discussion boards, there are some requirements, minimum requirements of all students. And that is you want to have your initial post and you need to have at least 3 replies each week. So it's a total of 4 posts minimum each week. The initial post needs to be at least 150 words. And that's something that is a rubric. It's not something that I have kind of set that standard by myself. So you want to make sure that you are hitting those minimum standards. When it comes to the reflection or the replies, let's try to avoid just the whole kind of like good job reply or the I agree reply. Let's get a little bit more detail, a little bit more meat on the bones, if you will, with those replies. Reflections, again, minimum 150 words. And that's another requirement of the rubric, okay? So stay on point with the reflections, try to make them relevant, and try to hit that threshold of 150 words. So far, what I'm seeing is really good, so I'm not too concerned, but I just want to keep that in mind, keep that in your mind, that these are the minimum requirements. But again, so far, so good. So far, so good, folks. Keep up the good work. Thanks.